You're rolling your suitcase into the terminal, already dreaming about gelato on the promenade, when a security officer pulls your bag aside. They unzip, reach in, and hold up your totally normal item. Cue the stomach drop. Sorry, that stays with us. Today we re-exposing the 12 shockers MSC security pulls at embarkation, and how to keep every trip-stopping item out of that gray bin so you sail stress-free. Quick promise, I'll give you a mini horror story for each one, then the simple move that saves your vacation and your wallet. Ready? Let's get you on board like a pro. You taped bubble wrap around a bottle of red for sail away. Security swabs the outside, smiles politely, and drops it into the confiscation tote. You protest. It's just one bottle. But the rule is the rule. Someone watched a viral hack about mouthwash bottles. Green food coloring, minty label, the whole thing. Security unscrewed the cap, took a sniff, and that minty Merlot never saw the open sea. MSC prohibits bringing alcohol on board at embarkation. If you buy alcohol ashore or in the onboard shops, it's held and returned at the end. Boxed wine and other containers? Also prohibited. Containers can be inspected and disposed of if alcohol is concealed. If you want wine with dinner, book a drinks package or buy by the glass. If you spot a limited edition rum in port, absolutely buy it. Just hand it to security on reboarding and they'll return it right before disembarkation. Think you're safe because it's just soda? Careful. MSC's next rule is the one that catches even seasoned cruisers. You roll up with a shrink-wrapped 24-pack like it's a backyard barbecue. Security points to the sign and shakes their head. The entire case? Confiscated. A family packed juice boxes for the kids. The boxes never made it past the scanner, and now they're scrambling for the nearest bar to rehydrate the toddlers. MSC bans bringing non-alcoholic drinks, water, soda, juice, in carry-on or checked luggage on embarkation and port days. The only exception is factory-sealed distilled or purified water needed for medical devices or infant formula. Bring a reusable bottle and use onboard water stations, or order water by the liter to your stateroom. If you need distilled water for a CPAP or formula, pack factory-sealed bottles and keep your documentation handy. You know what else gets snagged fast? Anything that heats. Even if you swear you'll only use it for 1 minute. You tucked a tiny travel steamer between t-shirts. Security spots the heating element, and out it goes. You argue it's mini. The fire code doesn't care. A frequent cruiser said, "I never had an issue before," and watched their steamer drop into the bin anyway. Lesson learned. Past cruises don't override today's policy. Heat-generating devices like clothing irons and steamers are not permitted on MSC ships. Fire hazards are a hard stop. Pack wrinkle-release spray, hang clothes in a steamy bathroom, or send 1 or 2 key pieces for pressing. Build, unpack, and steam time into your embarkation day with ship services, not with a banned gadget. No steamer? Fine. But the next one looks innocent and still triggers the same no-go buzzer. You brought a travel kettle so you could sip green tea on your balcony. Security catches the cord, and it's bye-bye kettle. A guest wrapped a hot plate in a towel and wrote souvenir plates on the bag. Security unwrapped it like a birthday gift, straight into the confiscation cart. Any item with a heating element or open flame is banned. Kettles, hot plates, toasters, and similar devices. Candles and incense are also out. Order a kettle's worth of hot water from room service or grab it at the buffet. Morning espresso? Ship cafes do it better, and it's safer. Speaking of cozy, some guests try to set the mood. Security calls it a fire risk. You're picturing a candlelit balcony. Security is picturing a fire drill. Someone packed tea lights for a proposal. Security took them, and the engagement still happened, just under LED lights. Romance survived, the candles didn't. Anything with an open flame is prohibited, candles and incense included. Fire is a ship's #1 risk. Pack LED tea lights if you crave ambience. They're cabin safe and won't end up in the big red bin. Fine, you say? Forget heat and flame. I'll just bring more outlets. About that, you toss a familiar 6-outlet power bar into your carry-on. Security flips it over, sees surge protection, and sets it aside. You can feel your phone groan. A cruiser at Port Canaveral had a power strip taken at check-in. First time in 10 MSC sailings. It was returned on the last night, but not until then. Ship electrical systems differ from home wiring. Surge-protected strips can behave unpredictably at sea and are widely disallowed or confiscated at terminals. Safer alternatives? USB charging cubes or non-surge travel outlets, if permitted by staff. Bring a compact USB hub, no surge, and a short, low-profile extension only if approved by the line. Check the outlet types in your cabin and keep chargers streamlined. Power drama aside, the next category is where vacations get truly derailed and sometimes involve the police. You forgot the small can of pepper spray on your keychain. Security didn't. A guest tossed a harmless souvenir bullet casing into their bag. Security found it, called a supervisor, and the embarkation turned into paperwork. Weapons and ammunition, including bullets and other dangerous items, are not permitted. Security will confiscate and may involve local authorities. Empty your day pack before travel day. Remove pepper spray, multi-tools with blades, and anything weapon adjacent. If you buy a decorative blade or similar in port, ship it home. If it explodes, sprays, or goes boom, it's not just confiscated, it can get you denied boarding. You tossed a half-used butane canister into your checked bag. Security X-ray lights it up like a carnival. A traveler bought festival sparklers on sale. Security treated them like fireworks, because they are. Flammable and explosive materials aren't just banned. If they're detected, law enforcement is alerted. That includes fireworks and fuel canisters. Leave any fuel-bearing outdoor gear at home. On board, you'll find lighters for sale. Use them only in designated smoking areas. Okay, no sparks. But what about spinning props with cameras? You secretly plan a ship-top sunrise flight. A fellow guest spots the drone lifting off. Security is there before you can say "follow me" mode. MSC does allow you to bring a drone and store it safely in your cabin, but using it on board is strictly forbidden. Security will confiscate it if flown and return it at the end. You can fly off the ship where local laws permit, but not at MSC's private island, Ocean Cay. You're responsible for complying with local regulations, and authorities can confiscate drones for violations. Pack the drone, keep it grounded on board, and check country-specific rules for each port. If your itinerary includes Ocean Cay, plan non-drone shots there. Now, even if you leave the drone at home, there's another underwater favorite that never makes it past security. A diver wheels in a sleek gear bag with a small tank. Security flags it instantly. Someone argued the tank would stay in the cabin and only be used ashore. Policy still said no. Guests may not bring their own scuba gear like oxygen tanks, diving knives, spears, etc. This gear is considered hazardous on board. Book dive operators in port that provide tanks and regulated equipment. If you cherish your own masks/fins, those are typically fine, but leave tanks and blades to the pros ashore. But I'm not a diver, you say. I just have crafting scissors. About those, you toss a utility knife into your backpack to cut luggage tags. Security sees the blade, and it's gone in 2 seconds. An avid crafter packed full-size shears for balcony scrapbooking. Security took them. The scrapbook had to wait. Sharp objects, including blades and scissors, fall under items port security is empowered to confiscate for safety. These items are not returned. If you need scissors, bring small, rounded tip versions under typical airport guidelines, or buy a cheap pair on board and leave it behind. Last one is sneaky because it sounds wholesome, but it's still a heat risk. You packed an electric blanket for chilly cabins. Security finds the controller and cord confiscated. Parents try the same with a plug-in bottle warmer. Nope. Heat-generating devices like electric blankets and bottle warmers are not allowed in cabins. Good news. Baby bottle warmers are available throughout the ship. You just can't bring your own. Layer up with non-electric warmth. Use the thermostat. And if you're traveling with an infant, plan to use the ship's provided warmers or ask your steward for help. If this saved you from the gray bin already, like this and subscribe. You'll avoid the next expensive mistake, guaranteed. Hydration. Reusable bottle plus onboard water. Bring factory-sealed distilled water only for CPAP or infant formula. Wrinkles. Wrinkle release spray plus ship pressing service. Power. USB charging hub. Minimal cords. Verify cabin voltage. Footage. Drone packed, stored, and grounded on board. Never at Ocean Cay. Fly only where legal. Gear. Dive with licensed operators who supply tanks and blades. Safety. No weapons, ammo, fireworks, fuel, or sharp tools. Ever. Picture embarkation again. This time, security watches your bag glide through the scanner and nods you forward. No side table. No awkward that has to stay. Just you, the gangway, and Salloway playing in your head. Alcohol. Don't bring it. If you buy it in port, they'll hold and return it. Non-alcoholic drinks? Leave the cases at home. Only distilled water for medical or infant use is allowed. Heat and flames? Hard no. From kettles to candles. Drones? You can bring it. You can't fly it on board, and not at Ocean K. Weapons, sharp blades, fireworks, and fuel? Instant confiscation, possible law enforcement. Policies can change, so always double-check MSC's latest guest conduct policy and your region's embarkation page before you pack. It's 5 minutes that saves your cruise. Pack smart, skip the gray bin, and you'll save money, avoid mistakes, and sail like a pro. Exactly how you travel now. Watch this next. Royal Caribbean 15 things that get you flagged by security in 2025, because every line has different traps, and you'll dodge them all.